How's
Good.
TBA feeling this week?
TBA, man. TBA is back on suspension this week. No, I'm just kidding. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and set our weekend rotation. We'll go Pilkington on Friday. We'll go Denver Macquarie on Saturday, and then Jacob Billingsley on Sunday. So those are going to be our 3 starters. Happy to get those out. Excited that guys are kind of, establishing themselves in roles, that type of thing, and feel really good about those 3 guys going out there this weekend and, giving us a tremendous starting outing, and looking forward to having those guys out there competing.
Denver was a guy in high school. He's set some football records. He had some football options, and I know in baseball he played in the field. He hit.
Right.
How is he kind of, molded into this SEC starting pitcher?
Yeah,
I know you don't have many options.
It's okay, though. Denver has been outstanding for us. Denver was a, freshman right-hand pitcher when I got here, and he kind of started out with some smaller sample sizes during the beginning part of the year. Get him in, get him out, an inning here, an inning there. As the season has kind of progressed, he's gotten more time, and Denver has started our biggest midweek ball games of the year this year, both games in Pearl against Southern Mississippi and Ole Miss. The longer the season has gone, the more time he's had as a full-time pitcher for us, and the more he's gone out there, the better he's done. His fastball command has gotten better. His strike throwing ability has gotten better. Started to really command his changeup and developing a really good feel for his breaking ball. So, he's a 3-pitch guy, fastball, curveball, changeup that pounds the strike zone. The last couple of times out, he's a tremendous athlete, like you just talked about. I think he holds the all-time career interceptions record in the state of Mississippi, which is pretty incredible when you're talking about the high quality of Mississippi high school football. Just a great athlete on the mound every single day out there for us. I've talked all year about loving to have position player athleticism on the mound, and he's everything that we're looking for in terms of just being able to control his delivery, repeat his mechanics, feel for 3 pitches. He's done an outstanding job for us.
What does it say about the SEC? A lot of people are saying it down, but Georgia takes 2 this past weekend. A lot of people have kind of looked down on them this year, but what's it kind of say about the SEC, the depth of it, I guess, if they can do that in a series?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think the SEC is down at all, but I hear what you're saying. I just think it's incredibly talented players that just beat up on each other every single weekend. And, we talk all the time as our team and with our coaching staff and our players that, you can throw the records out the window in this league. It doesn't matter what guys are doing. It doesn't matter if teams are hot or they're cold. Everybody has outstanding, tremendously talented young baseball players. And whether they're at Georgia, Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State, those are all the schools that all those kids are visiting all the time before they make their decisions. So it's extremely talented league. It's so competitive each and every weekend. Georgia last weekend beats Kentucky 2 out of 3 at Kentucky. They beat Georgia Tech last night in a really big midweek ball game. So they're a really good, talented team that's playing really well right now. We certainly have our challenge cut out for us. It's going to be a really big task for us this weekend to go there, play well all 3 ball games, and do everything we can to try to come out victorious and win a series. They're tremendously well coached. They've got young players that are outstanding. It's going to be a quote unquote dogfight this weekend between 2 Bulldogs. So we're looking forward to the challenge, excited to get over there and go play great baseball.
I heard you mention before about Ryan and things. When you first got here, it didn't take you long to realize he was a special kind of player. What did you see immediately from him?
You're talking about Gridley, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just tremendous leadership ability. He's a 4.0 student, baseball instincts off the chart. And then you start combining that with the ability to play the game. Guys, he has really good bat speed. His swing is in the zone for a really long time. He's a confident defender. He comes and gets the baseball as well as anybody in our league, probably better than anybody in our league at shortstop. Just, instincts to run the bases, good speed, those types of things. And, just was primed to have this tremendous junior season like he's having right now. And you start combining tools to play the game plus positive makeup, love to play baseball. That's exactly what Ryan Gridley is. And he's having an all-SEC, all-American type of season for us. Hitting behind Rooker every day, has really picked up some big hits and driven in some gigantic runs for us this year.
And you said it didn't really even take you long to understand that was the kind of guy he was, right?
No, exactly right. And we had played him 4 times last year and came away really impressed with his ability to play shortstop last year. And then once we got here and once I was able to spend some time with him offensively, could see how flat his swing was and could see the plate discipline, the strike zone judgment, that kind of thing. He's an extremely confident player, believes he's the best shortstop in America. And he'll tell you that too, which I love. And I love the fact that he has that kind of confidence about his own ability because it allows him to go out there and play well each and every day and help us win ball games.
You said something the other day that you like the polls.
Yeah, sure.
But you don't like keeping track of the standings, the RPIs, things like that.
Sure.
Is that more a way of trying to keep things week to week, day to day?
Yeah, I think you can't ever get ahead of yourself in this league. It's too competitive. Anybody can beat anyone on any given day. So, we talk all the time about, guys, we don't need to count wins and start looking at who's doing what. And if this team wins 2 out of 3 and this team wins 1, if this team gets swept, then we're in this place. We don't talk about any of that kind of stuff. We talk about preparing ourselves each and every day for a practice, each and every day for a game. We talk about going into each series as 3 individual battles. And the goal is to win the weekend. And so it doesn't matter if you lose on a Friday night. It is a short-term memory type of thing here in this program right now, and that's what we want to do. If you play great on a Friday night and win, it's over with. One day in this league doesn't dictate what's going to happen the very next day because everybody's extremely talented. And everyone is capable of winning every day. So we just take it legitimately. I know it's a cliche, but just day by day, worry about the 9 innings that are ahead of us and just want to stay out there and play as hard as we can, as well as we can, play fundamentally sound baseball, and that's our recipe. Our guys have a tremendous amount of fight in them. I think we have 21 come from behind victories this year, which is incredible. And it just speaks to the resiliency of our club. We're not going to give in. We never put our heads down. We never pout. We never give in. We talk all the time. We've got our boxing gloves that we bring with us everywhere about getting in the middle of the ring and throwing punches. We want guys that are not going to back down from the challenge. We want to get in there. We don't want to dance. We want to get right smack in the middle of the ring and throw some haymakers.
What do you see from Georgia scouting that makes them dangerous, especially here at the end of the year?
Just tremendously talented. They have a younger roster, but that is loaded with really good young players. And, in this league, it takes a minute to get going in terms of the youth. And, I've said for years, older players and older teams generally win in the SEC because there's so much failure that happens early in young players' careers because they're competing against older kids with great ability that have been through the battles of this league. And, Georgia has a young roster, but guys, when I look top to bottom of their team, they are tremendously talented. They've got a lot of velocity on their team. They've got quality starting pitching. We know we're in for a really big challenge this weekend, and we're going to go over there tomorrow, have an outstanding practice tomorrow night, and do everything we can to prepare ourselves to play well on Friday. And then we'll focus on Saturday at that time. And then when Sunday comes around, we're going to do our best to play well on Sunday too.
Last we spoke, you weren't exactly sure of when Stovall might come back, be for LSU or SEC.
Yeah.
Do you have a better idea now?
So he's got his cast off now. He's going through treatment and therapy every day, pretty much all day long. He has got his glove on. He's playing catch. He's bouncing around the field. We'll give it a go tomorrow at practice at Georgia. We'll see how he handles swinging. We'll see how he handles, playing pitch and catch and seeing what type of impact it's going to have. See if he can close his glove, that kind of thing. But as of right now, the cast is off. He's feeling good. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. Maybe we'll let him swing, see how he feels on Friday. But he's chomping at the bit to get out there this weekend. And knowing Stovey, he's going to do everything he can to play on Friday. And he's already tugging at my sleeve every day, all day at practice saying, Coach, I can play, I can play, I can play. So, I love his makeup. I love his mentality. He is a total team first, team last type of guy that wants to do everything in his power to get out on the field and help us win ball games.
Is there any chance that Ryan Reedby comes back this year?
He is in a process right now where he's starting to play light catch again. I think probably once we get back from Georgia, maybe next week at practice, he'll start ramping it up a little bit to see if he can't get back out on the mound, maybe against LSU, maybe at the SEC tournament. But, we're going to have to see Riggs do a lot of stuff in bullpen work before he ever gets out to the mound. I'm not putting it past him. As of right now, he's trying to come back and do what he can to help our team. But we certainly need to see him pitch in the bullpen, before you can put him out on the field in an SEC ball game, that's for sure.
Talk about leaders. A lot of people look at catcher first. How has Josh
Absolutely
developed into a leader?
He's a
for you?
tremendous leader on our team. He does a great job of really controlling and helping our younger pitching staff each and every day, whether it's in the bullpen or whether it's on the field during the game. So, his leadership ability is there every single day. He wants to win. He takes a lot of pride in helping these young guys navigate these games right now. And, then offensively, guys, he's picked up some of the biggest hits we've had all year. He picked up a game-winning hit at Oregon earlier in the year. He picked up a really big double against Auburn last week, 2 weekends ago. 3 hits on Saturday against A&M and a big come-from-behind win for us. So Lovelady has been outstanding. He really is our leader on our team. He makes our team go. Our guys look to him, for leadership and look to him for guidance, and we love having him behind the plate each and every day.
Was Price available over the weekend?
Price was available over the weekend. He's feeling even better now than he was last week, so I would anticipate Spencer Price being back into that closer type of role for us. And, he was a guy that could go out there and kind of gut through an inning if we needed it to the last couple of weeks, but he was definitely hurt. He was showing up to the field every day in a walking boot. Walking boot was on the first 5 or 6 innings, take it off, tape up his ankle, say he could pitch. I think he could go out there and get some outs the last couple of weeks, but, we just want to make sure we can do everything we can to have him back to full strength for kind of this stretch run here. And I think he's really close to being back to 100%. And I think this weekend's going to be probably the first time in 2 or 3 weeks where he's felt like he could really go out there and be the Spencer Price that he's been the first half of the year for us.